गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। So in the last class, Saturday, it was a holiday. The previous Saturday, we had started the 9th chapter. After the 8th chapter, which was a little digressing from the main topic of the 7th chapter, Krishna again comes back to the main topic. And in the 9th Adhyaya, which is Rajavidya Rajaguhyam, without even Arjuna asking the question, he continues, which means it is a continuation of the 7th chapter where the question is asked. So, he defines Ishvara as Jagat Karanam. Okay. The Jagat Karanam Ishvaraha. This is a very important aspect when it comes to the spiritual learnings. Who is this cause? Where does this creation go and end? And who is sustaining it? And this is very beautifully dealt in our Shastras. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ye na jatani jivanti yat prayantyabhisamvishanti tad vijijñāsasva tad brahmeti satapotapyata. Okay, and this first is, see, even Brahma Sutra starts that way. What is the main topic of Brahma Sutra? Starts with Athato Brahma Jitnyasa. Okay. Then the question comes, do we have to know what is Brahman, or it is just a waste of time? Only when there is a need to understand what is this Brahman, Athato Brahma Jitnyasa, the next things will continue. So if that question itself is not there, what is Brahman? And that is why the second Adhikaranam starts. The second Adhikaranam is Janmadhyasya Yataha. And this is what very clearly, who is the sustainer, who is managing it, and who dissolves it. Janmadhyasya Yataha. Janmadhyadhikaranam. So the first Brahma Sutra, once you have decided, you will learn. The first question is, who is this Jagat Karanam Ishvara? Brahmadhyasya Yataha. Then the question comes, who tells you that? Is it your own brain? For that, the third Adhikaranam comes. Shastrayo Nitvat. Other than Shastra, nothing else can confirm this. Okay, we have got 5 instruments, 5 sources of knowledge, and none of the 5 sources can give us this knowledge. Shabdasparisha Rupa Rasagandha cannot give, or Pratyaksha Anumana, Arthapatti, Anupalabdhi, none of these 5 can also give. Then what can give? The 6th one, which is Shastra or Shabda Pramana only can give. And that is why Shastra Yonitvat comes there. Okay, so that topic of Jagat Karanam Ishvara is very clearly brought in this 9th chapter. Till now, this Paramatma is considered, see, This is where slowly Krishna is now moving Arjuna. What is this Ishvara's real nature? And then bhakti. So, in the first 10 shlokas, he gives the true nature of Ishvara. Okay. And here, very clearly, in the 7th chapter, how was Ishvara looked at? Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. Correct? That is how it was looked in the 7th chapter. And only in the 9th chapter, he introduces Vivarta Upadana Karanam. Okay, in some of these shlokas, you will clearly see how Vivarta Upadana Karanam is slowly introduced. Why? From that Ishta Devata, Arjuna has to move to understanding that this whole world is Devata, Ishvara in different forms. Okay, because that is how it has to go. Once you understand, that is not enough. Okay, Jagat has to be known, and if you understand Jagat as something different and Ishvara as something different, Jiva is different, Ishvara is something different, Jagat as something different, then you cannot come out of this triangle. Okay, so this Jagat is dissolved super on Ishvara. There I am a Jiva, I am this. Now then there is a Jagat whom I interact with. There is also an Ishvara. Correct? This Ishvara, I can keep Jagat, I can keep Ishvara, I can keep myself. Then how will you get Aikyam? How will you get Aikyam? It becomes very difficult. So one has to be broken into the other two. Okay. So Jagat gets broken into me and Ishvara. How it gets broken? I know that I am not this body. I know that I am not this Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Karana Sharira. But I have clearly understood that I am Chaitanya Atma. Then, if I have to understand Jagat and if I give it a reality, I have a problem. Me, the Atma, I have given the reality. Ishvara, I cannot say is unreal because the moment I say Ishvara is unreal, there is no second thing. Huh? It is a pakka Dvaitavadama. You have to go very logically as you go and discern it. I am there, Ishvara is there, Jagat is there. All the three are realities which I understand. I have understood who am I. Aham Satchidananda Atma. Very clear. Now I have to reconcile what Ishvara is and what Jagat is. If both have got the same reality, I will have a problem. Why? I have one as myself as a reality. I will have Jagat as reality. I will have Ishvara as reality. From where is the question of Aikyam going to come? You will say, no problem, let all the three be real. Perfectly okay. Then you are Dvaita. Then it is not Advaita learning. In Dvaitavada, it is perfectly. I am there. Ishvara is there. This Jagat is there. I work with the Jagat and try to go towards Ishvara. Nothing wrong. Are we able to get this? But if you go one step ahead, then this Jagat can be broken as Ishvara only. Why? That is what is told in this ninth chapter. Jagat Karanam Ishvaraha. If Jagat Karanam Ishvara is there, Jagat becomes the, what is Jagat now? Karyam. It becomes a result for a cause which is Ishvara. So when you have a cause and result, which you will value, will you value the cause? Automatically, by simple, when you have me and my shadow is the result of me. If I am not there, my shadow will not be there. Which are you going to value? Me, not my shadow. Correct? If you have a father and son, logically you will value the father more than the son because the father is the cause for the son. Correct? So Karanam gets always a preference than Karyam. The Karanam can remain as Karanam without manifesting, but once manifested Karanam is Karyam. That is why Karyam does not exist. Karya Karana Abhava, when you understand that Karanam is manifested as Karyam. Both does not exist there. It is only with passage of time I call one as Karanam and the other as Karya. So Ishvara is the Karanam for Jagat as Karyam. When you say Jagat does not exist, it seemingly exists. You understand? When you say does not exist, don't understand that the whole Jagat. That is why we misunderstand when Adi Shankara says Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Oh, these are all not true. These are all fake. It is my imagination. No, no, no. It is there. You can touch. You can touch everything and say it is there. You can't say it is not there. Then what does it mean? Mithyatva means I don't value it as independently existing. Satyatvam is not there in it. Okay. Jagan Mithyatvam is what is getting established. Then what is existing? Brahma Satyatvam. That is what we call Ishvaraha. Okay. And now he defines what is Ishvaraha. Because when you go to Anadi in the Srishti Utpanna, you will have to accept that, let it be science or anyone, someone and everyone has to accept there is one cause due to which this Srishti has come. We may not know the cause, but we can never say the cause is not there. Like not know my 10th generation grandfather's name, but even in sleep I can never say he did not exist. His non-existence will mean your non-existence, and I cannot negate myself. Are you able to get this? See how it is going. Now it is not that one form Ishvara. It is that Karanam Ishvara we are going now. Haven't we suddenly jumped and broadened our thinking? Go to the cause. Don't look at these forms and call that Ishvara. Is it clear? Let us see how he develops it. So Krishna is now giving Vivarta Karanam. So what becomes Jagat, you know? Jagat is superimposition on Brahman, which is called Maya. Okay. ब्रह्मन का ऊपर सुपर इम्पोज किया हुआ फॉर्म्स इज कॉल्ड जगत. Okay, so Jagat exists or not? Answer is for equivalence purpose. If I exist, Ishvara has to exist. I have this Sharira on me. Ishvara has got Prapancha on him. A very simple way to look at it. I have Sharira on me. 3 Shariras I have. Ishvara has got this Karana Prapancha, Sthula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha on him. So he is Brahman, I am Atma. I have got 3 Shariras on me, which doesn't allow me to understand this Atma. He has got 3 Prapanchas on him, which is what we understand as Ishvara. That is why we never can even imagine Nirguna Brahman, we always look at Saguna Ishvaraha, Guna Sahita Ishvaraha. And these gunas are superimposed on him. Isn't it true? Right? Vacharam madam vikaro namadheyaha. So the word remains a word. WORLD remains a WORD. Vacharambanam vikaro namadheyaha. That's all. For giving it individuality, I call by different names to the same thing. As when I go to Gaurav, I will call one as Gulab Jamun, other thing I will call as Rasgulla, third thing I will call as Imarati, fourth thing I will call as Barfi, but I am actually referring to only one and one sugar. Over that sugar Brahman, different forms are superimposed. Yes or no? Vacharambanam vikaro namadheyaha. Isn't it right? On that gold, different forms are given, and one I call it a bangle, I call it a necklace, third one I call it a whatever name you want you give, a ring. Finally, it is gold. Vacharambanam vikaro namadeyaha. So this world or jagat is superimposed on my Ishvara. That is why Ishvara exists, the jagat seemingly exists. You can't say jagat doesn't exist. Then you are supposed to be blind, deaf and dumb. If you say jagat doesn't exist, I can experience the jagat. So what? I can experience even my shadow, my reflection I can experience, but I can never call it real. I can experience a picture, I can never call it a real. Then what is real? The screen is real, I can go and touch the screen on which the pictures will come. Movati iti movie, keep on coming and going. Is it real or false? 100% false, we know. But looks maha-real. That is the beauty of it. And this ability of Brahman to be seen as many, multiplicity, is what is being shown here. And that is why Krishna tells, I have two natures. Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti. My upper nature or the higher nature, which is called Para Prakriti, is Nirguna Brahman, and the Apara Prakriti is this whole Srishti which is superimposed on me. Is it clear? Are we able to get this logic now? So, how he has moved slowly from, see, the moment you say Nimitta Karanam, Upadana Karanam, you are giving value to both equally. If there is a carpenter, there has to be a wood, and both work on you to give you a product, which is a karya. We only go one step ahead and say Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karanam. That means I have one cause, which is the Nimitta Karanam and the Upadana Karanam, that one single source, but I still value them equally on that. When you say Yathornana Basrijate Grinnate Cha, that spider and that material coming from the spider both have equal existence. Samabhava it has got. They both exist equally. If the spider is there and if that material is there, then only the web can be created. If either of it is not there, the web cannot be created. Are you able to get? But now what are we going? We are going one step ahead in this ninth chapter and saying, actually neither the spider exists nor the web exists. It is that Chaitanya Shakti in the spider and the Satta in the web which is visible to us as a web. Chit and Sat. Are you able to see now? Same thing look differently now. That is where Krishna is able to make us see it differently now. That is what is para prakriti and apara prakriti. Apara prakriti is very easily understood by us. Para prakriti is always covered up. But without the para prakriti, that apara prakriti cannot be there. You know, there is a difference between anyonya ashraya. There's a little side topic, but then this clarity of thought needs to be there. Anyonya ashraya and vivarta karanam. When you say anyonya ashraya, they are interdependent. When you take a modak, does this purna depend upon the covering, or does the covering depend upon the puran inside? Tell me. Correct? Both are interdependent. That means I have to give sama, kala, they both exist. If I negate even one of it, that modak cannot exist as a product. Yes or no? And to understand this, Upanishads give very beautiful examples. Upanishad gives very beautiful example of anyonya ashraya. पृथिव्यामाकाशः प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता पृथिवी आकाश प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता. Can this prithvi exist without akasha? Can akasha exist without prithvi? What you call akasha is standing on prithvi. If you don't stand on prithvi, if you don't exist, which is prithvi tattva, where is akasha? Think. Okay. Same way, water and fire, mutual existence they have given. Apsu jyotif pratishthitam jyotishyapah pratishtitah. Apsu jyotif pratishthitam. Jyotishyapah pratishtitah. Can water exist in fire, and can fire exist in water? Difficult to imagine all this, na? Upanishad takes to all these levels, then only you understand what is anyonya ashraya. When you say apsu jyotif pratishtitam, can water remain in the fire? It will heat and evaporate. Correct? So the fire can be a support to the water, that over a period of time this water will evaporate and go, I can imagine. Correct? Water in fire can be imagined. Can fire in water be imagined? Have you seen fire in water? Lightning. Lightning is an example for it. Is in fire inside water. Can lightning happen without cloud, water bearing clouds? Which is the adhara, which is the adheyam? Water is the adhara, lightning is the adheyam there. See how interchange it happens. So mutually they can be present. Same way, Sharira and Prana. Prane Shariram Pratishthitam Sharire Prana Pratishtitaha. Think. Can Sharira exist without Prana? Dead body is of no use. We have to talk about living things, right? What do you call living things? Where Prana is there. So, is this Sharira because of Prana? Or is this Prana because of Sharira? There is no answer to this. Anyonya. Only when the body is there, the prana can move it through it, which is understood. That prana through me which goes, which I call pancha prana, prana apana vyana udana samana, has to have this body called sharira. Otherwise, they will exist as mahaprana, which is unmanifested form. Yes or no? Same way, if prana is not there, can sharira exist? It's a dead body. Okay, how the Upanishad gives example to talk of Anyonya Ashraya, that means both have got equal importance. In short, I will give you a very simple example. Husband and wife, Anyonya Ashraya. Don't talk of Adhyastha, superimposition. That day, from that day, food will not be available. Anyonya Ashraya. Are you getting it? See, very easily you got it. There is no question of who has got higher value and who has got lower value. You have to give samakala equal value. Anyonya ashrayatva. But that Chaitanya in that husband and wife, when you consider that Chaitanya is the Karanam Atma and this two Sharira Pindam, which we call husband and wife, becomes Adhyasa superimposed. Now you understand how it has changed suddenly. Both same husband and wife. Our view has changed here. How to look at it. Sharira drishtya, Sharira Chaitanya Sanghata drishtya, both dead husband, dead wife doesn't mean anything. So Chaitanya, Sharira together, Samakala, it will be Anyonya Ashraya. Shariras separate, one Atma, Adhyastha on it, you will always say it is Adhyasa. Their husband and wife has no, that word becomes redundant. Isn't it true? That word itself becomes redundant. It has no value. Can you say superimposed husband, superimposed wife? Meaningless. Are you getting it? This is what we have to now. That's this change, because this change is a radical change. If you understand it, then the shlokas will become clear. This radical change he is bringing about, because till now he was giving equal value to everything. Now he is bringing Vivartakarana. Why? He says, Maya Dhyaksheda Prakritihi Suyate cha Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagad Viparivartate Maya Adhyaksheda Prakritihi. Means what? Who is the boss? I am the boss. The Prakriti is superimposed on me. Same thing our many years back we learned, or many months back we learned in Tattva Bodha. Can you tell me if someone remembers what is an equivalent statement in Tattva Bodha? I know it is expecting too much, but still by mistake idhar aa gaya to. How does the Jagat start? In Tattva Bodha, how does the Jagat Varnanam start? Trigunaatmika Maya Asti. Remember, somewhere it rings now. What is that first word there?
Atat chaturumsh.
Atha chaturvimshati tatvotpatti prakaranam vakshyamaha. Then one word left. Brahmashraya. See the main word.
Maya asti.
Brahmashraya sattvarajastamo gunatmika maya asti. That main word very easily can be forgotten. What? Brahma Ashraya is the support, is the base on which this three gunas wala Maya is dancing. In front of us is this world. Are you able to get this? Brahma Ashraya. That is why he says Maya Dhyaksheda Prakritihi Brahmashraya Sattvarajas-tamo Gunatmika. Is it matching exactly? Words are different, meaning is exactly the same. And when you understand it like this, so beautiful, we feel, kuch सीखने को मिला आज. I'm able to see this Jagat the way Krishna is trying to teach me. Right? Such a beautiful way to look at this Jagat. There is only Ishvara everywhere. Everything is Ishvara, just seen in different form. Nothing else it is. And that is where this Purusha Sukta talks of that. Sri Rudra talks of that. Sahasrashirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat. When you say Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat, Sahasra means 1,000. Now just imagine a person. First of all, this person who has written this does not know mathematics. It is clearly visible. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha means 1,000-headed person. Now imagine a person, 1,000 heads. Can you imagine? From all the places, heads are just latak raha hai. If 1,000 heads have to be there, how it will be? Now, if 1,000 heads are there, how many eyes have to be there? At least 2,000 should be there. And that person is telling Sahasraksha. That means बीच में ऐसा एक बैठा है. एक एक मुंडी में एक एक आध बीच में. If you go literally by the words, isn't it very stupid? Then what does Sahasra Shirsha Purusha means? All the Purusha, Sahasra is Vachyartaha. To give a number, Sahasra is told. Everything what you see is this Purusha only. That Chit, which is Sahasraksha, Sahasrapad, Chaitanya Shakti is this. One Chaitanya in everything. Sabhumim Vishwato Vrutva Atyatishtat Dashangulam is bigger by 10 angulis than what you can imagine. If I say I can imagine millions of Milky Way, we will say he is 10 anguli more than that. Wherever your imagination can go, to any scientist, this Brahman is bigger than that. Why? On that carpet only all the science is playing the game. Are you getting it? Go to Sri Rudra. There are more than 350 things on which it is said that it is Rudra. Namo Hiranyabahave Namaha. Hiranyabahave Namaha. Senanye Namaha. Dishanchapataye Namaha. Namo Vrikshebhyo Namaha. Harikeshebhyo Namaha. Pashunam Pataye Namaha. Namah Saspinjaraya Namaha. Saspinjara means foliage. a newborn leaf is called Saspinjara. Tushimate namaha, Pathinam pataye namaha, Namo bablushaya namaha. Like that, you can keep on telling 300. These are all Ishvara only. Whatever I see is all Ishvara. Means what? That Chaitanya in everything is that one Ishvara, and that form is what we are superimposed. And to give it an individuality name, you have to, for transaction, you need to give a discrete name. Na? Like Swamiji will say, I go to the passport office. What is your name? Brahman. What is your address? Sarvagataha. He will say, if you are Sarvagata, why do you need a passport? You please go. Correct? That like Buddhu, we should not tell that. You should tell the name. You should tell the address. Correct? But in the mind, you should keep laughing. He is asking all this to a Sarva Vyapi. That doesn't matter. But you have to complete your formality. Correct? Okay. So where transaction is there, this is only a principle. That principle should be in the mind. That is an ability to dissect and see through everything the Brahma Tattvam, the Para Prakriti, and remove out that Apara Prakriti. That is called Nirakshira Viveka. What is Nirakshira Viveka? You know, when the swan can go into the water, it can separate milk and the water separately. Nirakshira Viveka. It will take the milk and leave the water. So we should know where the focus should be on that Nitya Vastu called Brahman, and then drop the Anitya Vastu. When you say drop the Anitya Vastu, it doesn't mean that Anitya Vastu does not exist. 100% it exists. If you say Anitya Vastu doesn't exist, your body does not exist. No one can say that. But I don't value it. I don't work with it. I don't attach to it. Are you getting? Mithyatvam is that. So don't mistake Mithyatvam as false. Mithyatvam means it's of a lower value. And when there are things of different value, I do not value both the same way. It's not in our day-to-day life. When I have a gem and I have a stone, will I value both the same way? I know one is a gem, I know other is a stone. I will not value it the same way. It is very natural. Vyavahara is that. Same way, if I know Brahman and if I know Jagat, then I know Jagat is superimposed on Brahman. I have to value Brahman and transact with Jagat. It is only an instrument for me to transact. That doesn't mean Jagat doesn't be there. Jagat is 100% there, but of a lower order of reality. Lower order of reality. Pratibhasika, Vyavaharika, Paramarthika. 3 words. Pratibhasika. What is Pratibhasika? Swapna is Pratibhasika. An illusion, an assumption of something happening. Compared to the existing reality which we are in a waking state, that Swapna is Pratibhasika. Correct? What is Vyavaharika? When I'm awake and what I'm doing, Vyavahara is Vyavaharika, transactional. What is Paramarthika? That which is the absolute reality is the Paramarthika. Right? So when you have these 3 orders of reality, can you value all the 3 orders the same way? After getting up from a dream, will you say, no, that dream is true? I got such a lot of money. Will you go to your bank and check whether the money is there or not? I won a lottery of 500 million US dollars. यूएस का क्लास है ना, यूएस डॉलर्स. बात ही करना है तो रुपयों में क्यों बात करना है कि नहीं? He can add 5 million crores of US dollars. बोलो क्या प्रॉब्लम है? But will you go to the bank account and check even if $1 is there? Answer is no. Why? You know it is pratibhasika. Okay. Can you tell that what you experienced as a dream was unreal? Can you tell that? I cannot tell that because I have experienced it, but I don't value it. Are we getting it? This clarity should be there that I experience it, I don't deny it, but I don't value it. Then comes Vyavahara. Everything I value in Vyavahara. He is there, she is there, he is great, this person is too great, he is very learned, he is useless. Everything in Vyavahara I value. Correct? And I compare everything. Now, when you go to that absolute reality, what happens to this Vyavahara? Pratibhasika compared to Paramarthika. In view of Paramarthika, Vyavaharika becomes Pratibhasika. Correct? In view of Brahma Satyatvam, Jagat becomes Mithyatvam. Now you understand it? Very clear, na? Adi Shankara has perfectly mentioned it. Only thing is we have to shift ourselves from Pratibhasika to Vyavaharika to Paramarthika. Sit in that boat and do not try to keep your leg in the other boat. You will fall down and break your head or drown. Don't keep leg in both the boats. No, Vyavahara also is there. But I got a dream and that dream came in morning 4 o'clock, so it will be true. Mahabuddhu. First of all, you are saying it is dream. Then it is dream. Why are you connecting it to morning 4 o'clock, which is Vyavahara? And if you keep doing that, keep on Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, that is only you are worth it. Are you able to get that? So we need to know what to value and what not to value and when to value and when not to value. That jnanam is what is being taught. Only you will come to know when you know to cut it, dissect it, that this is value and this is non-value. अब जिसने पहला बार आम देखा है उसको मालूम पड़ेगा क्या छिलका क्या है, आम क्या है, गुठली क्या है. He will try to eat the gutli and try to say, oh, I should get something out of it, right? First time that person is seeing aam, doesn't know. No one is there to teach him also how to eat. But once you know very clearly that this is what is the main stuff, but everyone values that gutli as the amrakarta. Without that seed, this amra will not be there. Ishwaraha is gutli. समझ में आ रहा है? How we can see everything in that. You just have to wear that specs and try to see it. Are you able to get this? How to dissect and see things as para prakriti and apara prakriti. This is para prakriti, this is apara prakriti. Once you know to dissect it, then only you can hold on to para prakriti. And if you hold on to para prakriti, you will drop apara prakriti. If you don't know to dissect it, you will see the apara prakriti and consider it stupidly to be para prakriti. That is what we are doing day in and day out. What are we seeing? That external appearance and that what brings value to us. Yes or no? That whole world brings value to us and we value ourselves through the eyes of the world. Socho. First of all, I am a buddhu to value the world as real. Okay, I don't know that. That world itself is mithya because it is dependent on my satyam called my awareness to know what world is. If that consciousness is not there, where is this world going to be there? Your whole world collapses. Do you know when? When your spouse's world stops collapsing because you will start snoring at that time. The other person's world collapse starts to be there. That time, where is your world? Gone. Yes or no? The whole world has collapsed, gone inside, and you will be very happily snoring. But when I wake up, I want to be seen through that world which doesn't have an independent existence through their eyes to understand whether I'm looking young, whether I have dyed my hair black, whether I put some lipstick. समझ में आ रहा है? Whose view it is? My view or the world's view? All seem to be very blank. No, no, it is reality which you understand, but you don't want to accept it. And to break that, only Krishna is teaching Arjuna, you better accept it. Your world you are looking through Drona and Bhishma, that is not the world. Your existence depend upon Bhishma and Drona, Mahabuddhu. Tvameva Satchidanandaha. Bhishma eva Satchidanandaha. This is what he taught in the second chapter, right? Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grannati naroparani तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णान्यन्यानि सय्याति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि. And if Arjuna would have said Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, okay, let me go and kill this Bhishma. Does he die or not? I will check. Why? Are you only said Nainam Chindanti Shastrani. Buddhu Atma cannot beat. So now you are considering Bhishma as this Mamsa Pindam or Atma. Dehatma Bhava or Atma Bhava. Forget Dehatma Bhava, even at least you go to Jivatma Bhava, not even Atma Bhava, you have gone far ahead up. Are you able to get? We are digressing from that main topic, but then we have to understand how Krishna is dissecting everything very clearly as Para and Apara Prakriti. And once we understand this, every shloka will become like very easy. Otherwise, every shloka you will start looking at it from the existing view what you have. It will be a big confusion. Because he is going to say, Matsthani sarva bhutani. He says, I don't exist. And from me only everything exists. Huh? Maha contradiction. On one hand, he will say, I only exist. Then he says, Matstani, Sarva Bhutani, everything else is existing because of me. How is that possible? How can two existence be there? That doubt should come. We are all now students who are thinking, huh? What is the first shloka of? After the Guru Pranama shloka, the first shloka of Tattva Bodha, what is the second shloka? We should 2 years have happened. थोड़ा थोड़ा चलना मनता है. खाली वो 8:30 बजे का पिक्चर देखने का बंद करो. बीच में भी थोड़ा पिक्चर देखो. Yes. तत्वोत्पत्ति प्रकारं वक्ष्यामः. I will teach you the method how to make an inquiry. Yes or no? How did we learn it? So now if we have learned in Tattva Bodha how to do inquiry, after that if you have stopped inquiring and only listening to what the sir is telling and just writing down, that means this has stopped working. You have to inquire and challenge it. You have to do an inquiry. You have to connect it. Here it is told like this, here it is told like this is contradictory. Then yes, it is working. Everything what I say is accepted means blind faith. Huh? Our Shastras are not for blind faith. And y'all are all sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikaris. How can I expect that you will not do an inquiry? It is only that out of a lot of respect you are not asking it. You are keeping it to yourself. I know you are doing an inquiry. Correct? Continue doing inquiry. Make this seemingly different questions will keep coming. It should be because only when you understand that you are learning it. It should come. And if it doesn't come, we have all these bhashyams to put that question in. Many of the questions doesn't come to our head. Thank God the Shankara was there. He will feed with all the questions. In case such a question is asked, then this is the answer. So he will stand in your side, then he will stand on the other party's side, ask the question, come here, and again stand this side and give the answer. Again go there. So he will do the Vada Vivada on both the sides. And he will make us think. Think. Clear? 9th chapter. Very important chapter I am telling you. Because that is the base which is jumping from the 2nd chapter straight to the 9th chapter, and that will only take it ahead to the 13th chapter. If you have done Bhagatyaga in 2nd chapter on Tvampada Lakshyartha, very technical terms I am using. Huh? If you understand it, good. If you don't understand it, let us pray. 2nd chapter, whatever Bhagatyaga in Tvampada Lakshyartha is done, he is teaching us Adhyaropa in 9th chapter for Tatpada Lakshyartha. What is Adhyaropa? What is the base? Then what is superimposed? How to understand Adhyaropa? Because once you understand Adhyaropa, then Apavada becomes easy. The rule is what? Cause and effect are seen. Then it is proven that the cause manifests as effect with time, which means you have established there is no difference between cause and effect except the moment of time. If there is no difference between cause and effect, then cause can be called as cause and effect can be called as effect in both the times. So if only cause and cause is there and if effect and effect is there, then cause and effect ceases to exist. That is the trick. नहीं समझ में आया? Got confused? Cause, effect. Movement of cause with time is called effect. Correct? Sugar, cause. Barfi, effect. Correct? Can I call sugar as sugar? And if I remove the time, can I call Barfi as sugar? What happened to Barfi? Barfi got dropped like a hot potato. What remains? Only sugar remains. So Barfi as an effect, sugar as a cause. With time, when I see it and make an inquiry, it was sugar at time 1, it is sugar at time 2. So Barfi is only a superimposition on sugar as name and form. So if sugar was there in the start and sugar is there at the end, where is Barfi? Tap. Apavada, dropped like a hot potato. So Barfi doesn't exist. Then what exists? Sugar eva sugar exists. Correct? Are you able to get that? In chapter number 2, what did we do? I have got 3 shariras. These shariras are superimposed on the Atma. I am not the Sharira. I know to separate the Atma from the 3 shariras, and I deliberately devalue the Sharira because I know they are dependent and Atma is independent. That is called Bhaga Tyaga. I do Bhaga, I cut it, like when I take a pineapple, I cut the skin, Tyaga, throw the skin. Bhaga Tyaga. Why? I don't need the skin, I need the pineapple. You can't do the same thing in chapter number 9. Ishvara Bhaga Ki Brahman Tyaga remove the Maya. You can't do that. You understand? So then here the rule becomes Adhyaropa Apavada. That means I try to bring inequalities of the order in both. I understand the true order in both. If I say any Jagat, that Jagat is made up of Chit, Sat Chit Ananda, and that Prakriti with 3 gunas superimposed. So one is the Adhyasta, other is the Adhyaropa. One is the base, Adhishtana, other one is Adhyaropa, superimposed on it. In Bhagatyaga, I am equally valuing both, that both exist. The order is the same, but I devalue it based on my need of it, so I throw it. Like the skin of the pineapple and the pineapple. Both exist. Here, you can't say that sugar was existing, sugar is existing, then what is Barfi? Barfi is superimposition onto the sugar, calling it a different name. Can Barfi exist without sugar? Answer is no. Can sugar exist without Barfi? Answer is yes. Is Barfi the covering on sugar? Answer is no. Barfi is superimposed on sugar. Are you able to get this? So that Twampada, Lakshyartha, I did Bhagatyaga to keep the Satta and throw the rest. Here I'm going to do Adhyaropa, get different orders of reality and remove the lower orders of reality, drop it as Swapna and keep only the highest one, which is Paramartha Tattva. Getting it? Another example you want? Adhyaropa Apavada. I want to drink milk. Correct? So I bring in a cup which is not at all relevant to me, but to transact that milk, which is the satta, that cup is superimposed on the milk. When I pour milk means what? The milk is the content, the cup is superimposed on it. Yes? Then what do? I bring the cup to my mouth, transact the milk, discard the cup. The milk had to go into my mouth, for which I bought in a cup, superimposed cup onto the milk. Mentally, I know both are of different order. That is why I am interested in the highest order, which is the milk which I transact. Throw the cup or discard the cup. Isn't it logical? In everyday transaction, I do this. I do adhyaropa apavada, I do adhyaropa apavada in every day's transaction. And that is what? Everything is adhyaropa on this Brahman, which means it can be easily done apavada. Once you know that is not the satta, I am interested in para prakriti, not the apara prakriti. Hopefully, something you have learned today without touching any shloka of the ninth chapter. Correct? And next week, you will see every shloka is exactly fitting like what Sir told last time. I didn't take notes, but everything is fresh. Why? You are filled with this knowledge. And when you are filled with such a knowledge, Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Okay, so good. A very nice topic. The more you talk about it, you enjoy talking about it. Ciao. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.